And she is looking so. Here she is. Stay put with me, phone. And she is up in the trees. We're here by the playing camera fun here. Okay, so we're here by the near the museum. We're on Libe Slope, and she is on her tree, looking down a little bit. I think she might do a bit of hunting here, so we'll see how long we are able to stay on. So today's Wednesday, the 26th of November. It's just about a hair short of 9 o'clock, 8:59 in the morning here. Good morning, Danny. And so we'll see if she hops on down to get some brekkie. I think we're kind of sort of in focus there. She's such a hard-on subject to get in focus. But she's up in this tree, and it's like, oh my gosh, you had to have X-ray vision to spot her from Central Avenue. I'll actually pop her up in the image here. There we go. Good morning, Danny. Hope you're doing good. You're working from home. You're working from work. What you doing? So taking the day today, the day before Thanksgiving. I was going to take Monday off, but that didn't make much sense actually, because people would be back from Thanksgiving and, kind of want to get going again. So anyway, switched it to today, and we have some sunshine, which is nice. At work today, although yesterday I was home. Excellent. Yes, and I was at work yesterday, and anywho, she keeps looking. There's a squirrel like right under her tree right now. She's wanting to. She's thinking. She's thinking. Yes, you are awfully pretty there, young lady. So we did a little bit of a spin around, came down along BB Lake and spun around the Arts Libe Slope Johnson area. Hello there. Hey Justin, happy Thanksgiving to you. Wow. I don't know if you're on. I think you're on, but you've almost never chatted. Is this the first time you have chatted? We always have some. You always send a nice email when we have a little bit of a chit chat around some stuff, but wow. Alright, so we're I see. Well, that makes sense. I think we have a number of professional lurkers. Well, I'm glad you said hello on chat. You should do it more often. You've done a lot of nice stuff over the years with your students and things, so yes, I know I'm struggling here with, the phone is struggling with the concept of staying in focus. That's pretty good, I guess. As long as the tip of her beak is sharp, we're sort of more or less good to go here. So she's very pretty up there. It's gonna be nice. We have some sunshine today, and I guess I'll have to look to see what the high is gonna be. We had some rain overnight. It's going to be a high of 55, a low of 32. So yeah. It's just been a little bit of a, it's fun to get out while there's some sunshine. I guess we're supposed to have some rain or something, maybe rain mix, whatever, or rain today. And then it's gonna be gray. Yes. What you looking at? Gray the rest of the week through Sunday. And then next week, supposedly there's several days when we're supposed to get some snow, which is gonna like royally not be good. You know, when there's no snow on the ground, we do good as far as temperatures. But as soon as that darn snow hits the ground and sticks for a day or so, we tend toward just persistent colder temperatures. Wow, look at that. Oh, she looks gorgeous. Beautiful. Got a nice scap for the event. Yeah, so not the easiest place to spot her. She's over here in the, we're going to call it the Arts Libe Slope engineering, not engineering, but, oh, look at that. So pretty. Thank you. Got another scapular, district. Do you have a spot to see her? This is really nice, you know. I suspect if she goes down, well, this is like really a spot. Far. Anywho, hey, well, in case you didn't hear, I'm sure you did. I'm sure there's some Penn State fans out there. Well, I'm not going to talk about it. There's just a lot of overhype on the game between Penn State and Nebraska. Couple of better play calls on the 2nd-yard line, and there would have been a couple touchdowns there, and a couple of slightly better passes, a couple more touchdowns, and then we'd be having a whole different narrative of the Penn State-Nebraska game. Our true freshman quarterback on his second start, so he did really, really good against Penn State as a in terms of poise and everything. So, what can I say? Good morning, Noel. How are you? We've got beautiful mom. I haven't seen Wank. We did do a loop through the bowl and BB and other places. And so here's our beautiful woman. Yeah, the light on her is great. She's not like looking to go anywhere right now. Check. Anyway, lots of buses coming on campus to weaving their way through the neighborhoods to get to campus. Hey Dana. Real Druck. Hey, happy Thanksgiving to you also. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. So it's a nice Wednesday. Gorgie Oso. So Kitty's got a chance to go out on the deck this morning. And what is the temperature now? It is 50. Wow. Pretty sweet. Yeah, so they got to go out on the deck for a bit, and they had their crunchies overnight. And they had their wet food this morning. Today was can day as opposed to pouch day. We kind of enjoy that. Are you gonna go down, Big Red? She is just like a painting up there. Good morning, Dana. How are you? All right, you just enjoying Big Red here. Oh, Janny, hey, happy Thanksgiving, and thank you for getting on chat and saying hi. So nice of you. Yeah, she's doing good. She's doing good. So this is like actually a really nice spot that somebody found, but it's like the best spot there is to show her. Because there's so many twigs, as they say. Well, you shouldn't be chat shy, Janny. Folks are pretty nice here on the chat. Hey, Birdie. Good morning to you and happy Thanksgiving. Tomorrow, that is. Be able to scoot a hair closer. Get that branch. Well, actually, Cindy found the sweet spot. Or she actually reminded me that it's the best spot we have found. There she is, a little less, yeah. God, I love the colors on her. All right, big stretch. Where are you gonna go? Wow. All right, she's slicing. What? No, she's still looking this way, but she sliced. We'll see if she does anything. She was like looking to go down earlier, kind of at the beginning of the stream. So it's kind of sort of in focus. Oh, she's so funny. I mean, this depth of field is like almost zero. Oh, how nice. Yeah, that's great, Janny. Yeah, she's still there. After a winter. Well, I'm not seeing Winker anywhere nearby. I'm going to take my hat off. Can you imagine? Oh. Good morning. Good morning to Costa Rica. Timber Beat's in focus there. So, woman, are you going to do anything this morning? So super hard to get her to focus. What are you going to do here, hon? I don't mind walking. Oh, but right this morning, standing here is like really, really hard on the back. Big red. So hop to it, please. Chop, chop. Good morning, Nikki. How are you? Happy Thanksgiving. Tomorrow. Let's see, what time is it? 9:30. Okay. All right. Ay, ay, ay. Well, she is hanging out there in this tall, tall tree. And there have been squirrels. She's too happy. She needs to move her butt, chop, chop. Oh, okay. Here she goes. Oh, nice. Okay, so we're gonna go wandering a little bit to show her on another tree. Just gonna keep you on the scope. It'll be easier. Again, nice and high. Here, I'll show you some of the sky. Isn't that beautiful? Gorgeous sky. All right, let's see if we can find a spot to actually show her. She was getting into these spots here. Maybe a little further up the slope here. Okay. Yep, she is. All right, I'm gonna grab her over here and then come to you. All right, let's get her on. There she is. Show her there, way high up. All right, now we're gonna hop on down to where Cindy is. Way high up. Well, halfway up, but she's high up in that tree. Oh, so pretty. Oh my goodness, she's gorgeous. I think we might just stay here. She's thinking now. All right. Gosh. Sorry guys, it's like really a challenge today to, because there's different branches in the foreground. The camera insists on trying to focus on. All right, I'm gonna go down where Cindy is. I'm just gonna pop her up on if she takes off. Oh, she's a beauty, isn't she? There she is up there. All right, so let's just go ahead and okay. Let's find a funky branch. Yep. And I gotta go up. And she is gonna be that way, and that way, and that way. challenging sometimes. Wow. This is a beautiful spot right here. She's gorgeous. Yeah, she did. She did kind of play ball there with us, didn't she, Nikki? Give us a chance to stretch our legs a little bit. All right, Janie, Cindy wants to let you know that she's sending you Thanksgiving hugs. She sends back hearts. And hugs. All right, well, you made Cindy smile. A huge smile. Yep, Miss Danny's on also. Hugs to Miss Danny also. Of course, we can't really give Big Red a hug or anything, right? I don't think she would go for that. Gorgeous morning here. So I think this is going to be the best day probably for the next week and a half from what we've seen. Hopefully we won't get the much snow. That would be really, really good if we didn't. That woman is just the fluffiest thing. Oh. So the field house is coming along, and it's they got a lot of the sheathing, whatever you want to call it, the side, the walls, the exterior on the walls in place, and you can see the outlines for the sort of the triangular, long, horizontal triangular windows at the base of the building. Good morning, Charlotte 6440. And so that's coming along pretty well there. What? Yeah, me neither. Charlotte in Chicago. South side, I guess. But anyway, so they have you have a good idea of what's happening there, and yes, it's going to have the bird safe glass. We saw a sample of it. Jake showed it to us one day in his construction trailer there, his office. And it's like, that stuff is like weighs a freaking ton. Yeah, I know, Danny. I think this morning. So the correction, this morning or through midday is supposed to be the nicest for the next week and a half. So there's some clouds moving in from the southwest. Normally we have clouds and Newfield has sun, but it's kind of the other way around at the moment. So yeah, so they'll all be bird friendly, which is great. There's not a lot of glass in the building. It's mostly exterior panels and stuff. It'll look pretty smart, I think, when it's done. It'll be a nice addition there. And there's, I think, plenty of space. It's a nice amount of space between the building and the towers. So that's kind of nice. And in a lot of ways, when the kids miss the tower, either one of them, then they won't have to go very far to land on top of the building. Which is actually going to be quite nice, to be honest with you, because when the kids miss the building when they're flying back after fledge, who knows where they're going to wind up sometimes. So this could be a pretty smart addition to their environment. Oh. Good morning, Tank. So yeah, we've been hanging with Mom for we're getting close to an hour here. 47 minutes with the big red. Yeah. I'm on camera. I get her and out the branches in focus. There we go. Thanks, Jackie, and same to you. Lots of folks that I know are keeping it simple this year. Yes, I think we're not gonna do the turkey this year. I think we're gonna do some nice plump Cornish game hens. Oh. We need to get apricots, don't we? For the game hens? Is that true? Okay. Clouds are starting to move in. Winds from the south. No bueno. She is. She just like life. Just she handles. She not. She's not passive. She's active, but she does it in style. It looks like she's gonna go maybe. She's looking that way. All right, Nikki, take care. And the sun is the sun gone? This may be it. Well, there's some sun on South Hill. I may there's an opening. We don't. It's gonna be a while though before it gets here. It's quite pretty over there. There's the hills in southwest and heading toward Newfield are in the shade. West Hill is in sun and shade. And South Hill, the portion that's facing us is all lit up, but it's getting clouds are moving. The shade is moving across the hill our way. So, oh, here we go. We're gonna get another little peeky poo of sun on her. So from now on, it's gonna be sun and clouds, sun and shade here. And we get a nice little bit of sun again. See how long that lasts. She certainly does exceed many levels of beaudaciousness. What is it? It's not the Richter scale, the Leitner scale? Yeah, like 1 through 10. She goes beyond exceptional beauty. She goes to superlative beauty. She's an 11 out of 10. Yeah, she is a smart red-tailed hawk. Oh my goodness. Now we're preening. You should come here. This is quite lovely here. Gosh, she's fun. She's not in a hurry. Why should she be, right? What does she got to do? She's got a beautiful place to hang out, stuff to watch, plenty to eat. She's got a good guy to hang out with. Oh my gosh. You know, we may be in a hurry, but she is not. Now her feathers are all sticking out. Oh. Well, she might get going again here. We'll see. She's tootsifying that branch. Okay, she might go. So I don't know. I think there's some of you who, I know Danny is a rocket person. I think Chinook is also. Some other folks are. Anyway, I think I don't know if I mentioned it the other day, but so New Glenn is now got their. They've got a like a moon lander that's like ready to go to fly unmanned to the moon. So there's all this hubbub about SpaceX, which is very cool. I agree, but throwing rockets into the ocean and stuff like that, and whatever the way they sort of go about it is a little awkward. Anyway, Blue Origin, they just New Glenn did the beautiful second flight and stuff like that with the landing and the whole 9 yards and stuff, and now they just made a couple of big announcements since they had that success, and they can like now start to announce some things. And because it's very, very real. I mean, the rocket is like really, really real. It's prime time, we think. Pretty much there's two squirrels down below her climbing the trunk. I don't think she can see them. Yeah, they can. Oh, they're chasing each other. What do you think, Big Red? Anyway, so there's this whole thing about the Artemis missions and stuff like that to put folks back on the moon after, is it 70 years? Something like that. 67, 6, or 72, 75, whatever it was. So some number of years. Long time. 50 years. Anyway, so everybody's like banking on, SpaceX and Starship to get there. But that's not anywhere near prime time. Certainly, I don't think for the horizon that they're talking about. But Blue Origin's got a kind of like a lander there. It's big, it's beautiful, and it's ready to test fly and stuff like that. So unmanned. So that's very cool. It's called Blue Moon. Nice name, huh? And then they also announced an upgrade to their New Glenn rocket. So right now the rocket is a 7-2 configuration, meaning that it's got 7 BE4 engines in the first stage, and then 2 in the upper stage. 2, I think BE3s or BE7Us, I can't remember. Slightly smaller rocket engine in the upper stage, but they're going to be upping, so they're going to be a 9-4, so they're going to have 9 BE4s in the bottom stage and 4 engines in the upper stage, and they're also increasing the power of each of those engines by quite a lot, and they're increasing the fairing size with the part that holds the cargo. I think they're going to increase it to like an 8-meter fairing. So that's like 24 feet across. Like imagine, so that's like across. It's not like the length, it's the width. So it's more than 24, it's like 25 feet, whatever it is, wide. And then, I don't know how long those things is, how tall it is. It's like 70 feet, 80 feet tall. So imagine something that's huge. So I think they were, again, Danny can correct me on these, but I think they were talking about like being able to throw 70 metric tons into low Earth orbit and some huge amount directly into translunar injection. Actually, that rocket, I think, will have more capability, lift capability in terms of cargo than Starship. Even though it won't have like 33 Raptor engines in it in the base, because Starship is just so massive. I mean, Starship will still be probably the tallest rocket and the most, quote, powerful rocket in terms of thrust. But as far as like actual lift capacity into the different orbits and injection, translunar injection and all that kind of stuff, I think the New Glenn 9-4 maybe will have more. And I think it may be ready to go sooner than Starship. Because actually Starship hasn't done anything as far as like putting actual meaningful stuff into space or into orbit, or come down and done it when it needs to do or whatever. And they're also talking, New Glenn is also talking about deploying an aerobrake. So ULA has been working on an aerobrake, which is like it's like an inflatable heat shield. So think about it, when a rocket comes in, a space capsule comes in to space, it comes into the orbit, Earth's orbit, to land again, like coming back from from the moon or whatever, or when it's going to some else place. It basically, but where there's an atmosphere, you have to have a heat shield, right, of some kind, on the bottom of the capsule, or whatever it is that's coming back in, and it's typically an ablation style heat shield or whatever, and it's not really any bigger than the bottom of the capsule. So that seems to work okay, like in a thick atmosphere and for the capsule that size. But in other if you want to bring something bigger back, like an engine puck or something like that off the bottom of a rocket, or like an entire upper stage or something like that, right? Well, a standard heat shield that's just the width of the bottom of the rocket is not going to cut it. It's just not going to have enough. It's not going to generate enough air resistance. It's not going to be wide enough to generate enough air resistance as it comes through the atmosphere to slow that amount of mass, that vehicle size, down. Or if you're going through a thin atmosphere and you want to land without propulsion to stop you, like firing your rockets to slow you down as you land, and you just want to land like you do, with a parachute or something like that, you have to have a really wide heat shield in order to generate enough air resistance in a thin atmosphere to slow you down, right? So the way to get around this is basically an inflatable kind of heat shield that is just like really, really, really wide, and it can handle the heat because of the material that's on it. So it's amazing stuff, right? So ULA is pioneering that for their rocket, their Vulcan rocket, and New Glenn announced that they are basically saying, okay, we can land our main booster stage like SpaceX does. They can land the huge New Glenn thing. But now, instead of like SpaceX like throwing their rocket the upper stage and kind of trying to glide it down to Earth, and they've been having struggles with that. Blue Origin is basically saying we're just going to use this inflatable aerobrake to land our second stage. So and have it be reusable. So that's the approach that they're going to take. And of course, they would have a separate lander up on their upper stage, which would then land on the moon or whatever it is and stuff like that. So SpaceX is really a two-stage rocket where the upper stage has to glide through the atmosphere and then land propulsively using rocket fuel and stuff like that, wherever it's going to land. Whereas New Glenn is saying, look, we're going to do a three-stage thing. We're just going to basically do like a Saturn V or Artemis or whatever. You're going to have a main stage, an upper stage, and then your actual payload stage, which in this case would be like a moon lander. So I know you're incredibly bored by all of this, but the thing about the inflatable aero brake is that you can put massive amounts of weight on the aero brake, and you just need to inflate it to the right size. And so that's how they think they'll be able to like land tons of cargo and stuff onto a planet like Mars or the moon without having to expend a ton and carry a ton of fuel in order to do it. Yeah. All right, well, we got to go, guys. Work calls for some of us and other things that have to be done. So anyway, you don't want to spend money on fuel if you don't have to, especially if you're going to be putting tons of missions to land non-human cargo on a planet. You want to use an aero brake to do it. All right, see ya. Take care. Bye-bye, Big Red. Nice seeing you. You all have a wonderful, beautiful Thanksgiving if we don't see you. Hugs and love to you all. All right, take care.